I've owned this 1966 C-Code Mustang Fastback for about the last 18 months. I'm getting ready to list it for sale at the Wichita, Kansas Insurance Auto Auction. So I'm going to give you a quick but detailed walk around of this car so you know it inside and out. The original door tag is still in place in the door jamb, and it matches the stamping in the engine bay. It decodes as a 289 two-barrel car with a C4 automatic transmission. It had Emberglow paint and Emberglow and parchment interior. It was 280 gear ratio, non-limited slip. Here's the stamping on the driver's side inner fender. Again, that does match the door tag as well as the title. The driver's side quarter panel appears to be the original. It does have some bubbles. The rockers on this car are in excellent shape. Again, indicative of a car that spent most of its life in a dry climate like Texas. The driver's side door is relatively solid. It does have a little bit of rust at the lower forward corner that could be patched. The driver's side front frame rail, also very good. The driver's side fender also has some rust bubbles at the bottom and does appear to have some filler. You can see the cracks in the paint, but overall, looks like a workable fender. The driver's side left front frame rail is remarkably solid. The front valance is very workable and in good shape. The grille is there, although it's broken at this left front corner. It may need to be replaced or repaired. The inner fenders on this car are in excellent shape. Oftentimes they pucker and blister where these pieces of sheet metal overlap, but these are some of the best that I have seen on an unrestored 1966 Mustang. The front frame rails, as seen from the inside, are also in excellent shape. The only fault I can really find in this engine bay is that several holes were cut in the shock towers to access bolts. But other than that, this engine bay and firewall are in remarkable shape. The hood has an aftermarket scoop, which is non-functional and cracking out. This hood needs replaced. The top of the passenger side front fender has quite a bit of filler in it, but from the side it's relatively straight and really doesn't have much for rust down low. The passenger front frame rail is also in excellent condition. You can see that a patch panel was put in place for the tow area on the passenger side. It's going to need final fit and finish before it's welded in. The passenger side lower rocker is just as good as the driver's side. And the floor pans also, again, really dry. And a view of the rear floor pans from the other side. The passenger side door obviously has some putty in it. It also has rust at the forward and rear lower corners. The quarter panel looks pretty decent, especially down low. It appears to be an original quarter panel. I can't see any putty cracking out, but you never know until it's stripped what's underneath. The lower quarter has a few little rust bubbles, but again, not bad. The rear valance is in good shape. The tail panel does have quite a bit of filler. It's going to need at minimum stripped down and possibly replaced. The deck lid is rusty and will need replaced. The trunk floor in this car has definitely seen better days. However, it still looks better than many of the projects that you see for sale. The great news is that the rear frame rails underneath these floor pans are in excellent shape. I'll show them to you in a bit, but you won't have the added expense of replacing rear frame rails and worrying that they were done correctly. The quarter panels appear to have their original undercoating, and they don't seem to have any weird patches or flanged in panels that sometimes happen to cars that were repaired years and years ago. But again, original undercoating. This is the bright side of owning a car that spent most of its life in Texas. The passenger side frame rail is super solid all the way back to the rear crossmember. The driver's side rear frame rail, just as solid. Although the floors are really dirty, for a 50-something-year-old car, they're really quite solid. You saw them from below, and I showed you this patch panel that's already been set in place and trimmed. It's dirty, it's been rained on. Tunnel's in good shape. floor pans on the driver's side are pretty good, except for that toe area in the forward section. So another couple patches will be needed there, but overall the floors are really, again, quite good. The front seats are not the originals, but are good workable cores. The rear seat's in good shape. Side panels are there, and some of the odds and ends trim pieces are in the back seat. A few other odds and ends are in the trunk. Headlight buckets, radiator core, heater box, and things like that. The dash pad itself is gone. Instrument cluster is there, but a previous owner hacked up the wiring harness, so it's definitely going to need replaced. Radio's missing. Steering column's there. The roof skin is solid, no holes. It does have filler on top that will need stripped and sanded down.